So my name is Ann Rolling, and I work here at Children's. I'm the Child and Family Counseling Training Manager, and I've been with Children's for 18 years. So research around mental health issues in adults have demonstrated that a lot of times these disorders actually start in childhood and adolescence. So a lot of these issues, if left untreated, don't go away. One of the most persistent and prevalent disorders that we work with is really focused on depression. And some of the signs for depression with kids and teens can actually look quite similar to what you see with adults. So there's sadness, there's crying, there's isolation, withdrawal from friends and family. There can be fatigue, problems with sleeping at night, sometimes sleeping too much, sometimes not enough. There can be changes in appetite. There can be feelings of guilt, feelings of worthlessness. They can also have symptoms of suicidal thoughts, thoughts about death and dying. So children can really experience the full gamut of symptoms that adults do as well. So even though they have a lot of similarities, kids also have some unique symptoms that you might not see with adults because there are not many adults. And so for them, instead of feeling sad all the time or crying quite as much, they may be more irritable or moody. And they also might come across as being very clingy and very overly sensitive and reactive to little things. So in addition to that, you can also see when they do have thoughts about death, it may be a lot more vague than what you see with adults. It might be things like, I wish I had never been born, or things would be better if I wasn't here. Or they may also think about, I might want to be in heaven with a lost, family member or a pet who recently passed away. And so they kind of take on a unique flavor in that regard. The things that you see in their behaviors, you'll see things like their grades start to slip. They isolate themselves from friends. They don't want to do the activities they once loved to do. They withdraw from the family. They may feel very distant to you as a parent. And some of those things, when they persist, that's when you know it's time to go get help for them. It's tough for parents to always know what to do because sometimes the signs and symptoms, not all kids have everything, and it's sometimes hard to figure out, is this just a phase? Is it something that is just kind of a normal ups and downs sort of thing? And sometimes parents are a little reluctant because, we don't call the pediatrician every time the child gets a sniffle, right? So, it's kind of hard to figure out, when is this a severe enough issue to seek help and seek services? So out of all those symptoms, try to think about, are those things lasting for several weeks? Are they starting to get worse and worse? And if the answer to that is yes, then the thing to do is to reach out for help. I also want to point out that for many kids and many parents, because there is a mental health stigma, it can be hard to reach out for help. Parents are worried their kid's going to be embarrassed or ashamed that they need help for what they're going through. And parents themselves can feel embarrassed and ashamed. They want to fix it for their kid. And it's really tough when you can't. If you seek help for them in a timely way, you can save them months, even years of pain and suffering. As tough as it is for, parents to kind of navigate all these different things and figure out which way to go and when, really the most important thing is to take that first step. So where do you go? Who's the first person you talk to? I would recommend talking to the child's pediatrician. They know your child well, sometimes from birth, and they have the tools to kind of reach out and assess them. So they can assess whether there's a physical issue going on for a kid. So sometimes physical issues can mimic depression, but they also have depression screening tools now. And they also keep a long list of resources for families. So if the referral is necessary, they can refer them to a high-quality provider who's child-focused. In addition, though, I would say that some of the exciting things that Children's doing and other agencies are looking at alternative. So school-based mental health is kind of a brand new thing that just started a few years ago, and you're seeing more and more schools having mental health providers right within their walls during the school day. So the child doesn't have to be pulled out of school. They can be seen by a provider right there. Unfortunately, for some kids, therapy isn't enough on its own. You may need to seek someone to do an evaluation for medication. And that's often the case when you see that there's a biological component to it, if depression is something that runs in your family or something that doesn't seem to kind of respond well to early treatment efforts. But the thing I'd really like to stress is that it doesn't mean you're a bad parent, and it doesn't mean you can't hack it as a parent. Some of the best parents in the world have children with mental health issues. It doesn't reflect on your parenting. It just means that you need a little extra help.